Hi everyone. Hope you all are well. Today I wanted to talk about setting yourself free. And what I mean by that is setting yourself free from your own story that might be limiting you. Um, I don't know about you, but I know that there's a lot of people that are living in a story that they're telling themselves right now that is very, very limiting. And I think this is also a time that a lot of people are waking up to the fact that they need to change their story because the world is changing. And when we don't change, we're going to be left behind, or we're going to be stuck in a place that we don't want to be. I know for me in particular, it is possible that I will need to find other employment coming soon. I guess time will tell. We'll see what happens. But I do know that's true for a good number of people out there for a bunch of different reasons. In some cases, places have closed down, small businesses. Hopefully, we won't go back into another lockdown, although I can see a narrative being pushed to try to make that happen. In which case, many more businesses might actually shut down. I don't know how many will survive through another nationwide or worldwide shutdown. I know in some places in the world are definitely shut down and people cannot go to work. I also know that some people, many people, are being challenged with the idea of taking a jab that they don't believe in, and because of that are facing the real possibility of losing their job. So with that in mind, it's a perfect time to talk about how you might be holding yourself back, because you may be needing to make a move and take a leap of faith, or give in to things that you don't want to give into, which I really don't think you should do. I think that we should all be true to ourselves. It's not about what other people think. It's about what we know is right for us. Other people have not had the same life experience as us. They may not have done the same research as we have. They may hold different beliefs from a religious, political, whatever perspective. It doesn't really matter. It's not the point. The point is that when we're faced with adversity, we have to take 100% responsibility for how we move forward. Might some choices be forced upon us? Sure, absolutely. But we can do one of two things. We can either react to what has happened, which we all will do to some degree, and that's normal and that's fine. We can choose to just leave it at that and take that victimhood stance and just, this happened and this sucks and there's nothing I can do about it, and now I'm going to be homeless, have no food, whatever it may be. Or we can take responsibility for what will become of us after we are forced to make a choice. Okay? Actually, I guess we are kind of forced to make a choice. Yeah, I was going to say we're never forced to make a choice, but even not making a choice is a choice. So what story are you telling yourself? If you were faced with something like losing your job, or having to relocate, or just making a major life change such as that, what kind of story are you telling yourself about your ability to do so with confidence? Fear is always associated with change, a little bit, but how much fear are you going to really embrace as you are faced with certain unpleasant choices? I suggest that we work through fear as quickly as possible and move through. And a lot of times the way to move through fear is literally just to keep moving. Okay, we need to give ourselves some positive reinforcement along the way, start to tell ourselves a different story. If we are in fact feeling fear, move through it so that we have a new story to tell. I'm not gonna lie, I'm sitting here talking to you about this and I've got some fears about what might be facing me. Sure, I do. I have bills to pay. I have a child in college. I would like to eat. I'd like to keep my vehicle. That's not quite paid off yet. But I'm starting to think outside of the box and try to come up with different solutions that I can embrace if and when I have to move forward. I will be moving forward eventually on my own choice. I just may be pushed into that a lot faster than I had wanted to be. So what I'm thinking is that when we can really get in touch with what brings us joy in this life, what we have a passion for, what we're skilled in, and maybe even most importantly, what we have to offer the world, perhaps that can guide us into new choices and to taking new actions that we've never taken before. I mean, have you ever had like that nagging or a few nagging ideas about a new way you could be or something new you could bring to the world, and you've just never stepped forth into that because maybe you're afraid of failure, maybe you're worried that people are going to judge you, people that have known you for forever, and now you're acting different or you're doing something completely different, you're going to be judged. In my case, it would be leaving a job, or more likely being forced to leave a job because something doesn't line up with what I believe in. That definitely causes a lot of stress and can sometimes fog our ability to think intuitively and logically about what next steps could be. Next steps that we could really feel happy with. So I'm here to encourage you all, as I encourage myself, to start looking really deeply into what you have to offer this world. What skill, what knowledge, what experience. Maybe it's something you've never done before, but you have a true passion for it. When you bring passion into something that you're doing, and you're doing it from a vantage point, obviously we need to make money and that kind of stuff, but doing it from a vantage point of serving others, serving the world, making this a better place for us to live, for us to love, for us to be together, I think that's going to really bring us what we need these days. Money is definitely important, and it would be a lie to say that it wasn't. But if we're forced to make changes in employment, let's just say, and we're only focused on replacing that money, yes, that will serve a purpose, but it will not bring us the joy and peace that we all truly desire. I mean, no matter kind of where we are, we do share or how we identify ourselves in this world. Pretty much for the most part, we all share the fact that we want to belong. We want to have independence to be able to make our own decisions. We want to be able to master things that are important to us. And we want to have something valuable to give to the world. We want to be loved. We want to be respected, needed, and to have peace in our lives. So if we can come from a place of thinking about what might be our next best steps from that frame of mind, perhaps it will be less fear. I can tell you this for sure. The opposite of love is fear. Many people believe that the opposite of love is hate. Hate comes from fear. So if you are feeling fear, and you can bring yourself back to a place of examining what you feel you need to do from a place of love, from a place of hope. Fear cannot exist in the same place as love. So I'm encouraging us all, including myself, to do that. So what brings you passion? What do you have to offer to the world? The world needs you. The world does not need you working in a place that you hate. You may have to do that for a while you build up something else. You may not have that opportunity. I may not have that opportunity. I don't hate my job. Don't get the message wrong. But I may not have that opportunity. I am working on other things. I may not have that opportunity to continue where I am now while I build my true passion. And that can be fearful. So coming from a place of love and taking a look at that place of love and respect for myself, knowing that I'm worthy and that anything I'm trying to accomplish is a worthy goal. Yes, I'm going to look to make money. I have to look to make money. But that will follow. People dig it when you have something to give to the world and you can do it with passion. The world does not need unprincipled people that are not willing to stand up for what they believe in, that are not willing to go after what they truly desire, that are not willing to have courage and walk through fear. So let's all do that together, right? There's a lot of fear out there, and we can get through this, but we have to walk through it. We need to become the cause of what happens in our lives, not just constantly responding to the external world. That's where we find our true power. And in order to do that, we have to take responsibility. We can't just sit back and do nothing. Doing nothing is a choice. But by doing nothing, you let others take control of your life, and you become the effect. You become the cause. Let's become the cause together of a better place, of strength, of courage, of freedom, of liberty, of saying no when something is wrong. And there's a lot that's wrong right now. A lot. I've worked with children all my life. You've probably heard me say that already. But one big gift we give to our children when we live in this way is we show them how to do that. Right now, our children are learning by watching us to live in fear, to not listen to what our inner voice is telling us, to not listen to what our intuition is telling us. We can change that. And by doing so, we can make a better space for us, and we can definitely leave our children a much better world. I'm actually going to talk about goal setting coming up here soon, because I think a lot of people need to take a good look at their lives and do some goal setting based on a new paradigm that I think many of us would like to create. The world has truly gone mad, in my opinion. They are trying to divide and conquer us. And when I say they, I just mean very powerful people throughout the world. It's no surprise. There's a new agenda being pushed. We know that. It's out there. It's researchable. It's not my opinion. It's not a conspiracy theory. But we don't have to be victims of it. So let's pull together, get some courage, be brave, come from a place of true authenticity of who we are. And if we are someone or in a particular point in our lives that we don't prefer, then let us take that 100% responsibility and become the cause of creating what we want. That's all I have for you today. Next time, like I said, I think we'll talk about goal setting and maybe just taking some steps forward. But if you're in the same position that I'm in, which is potentially looking at losing your job, a career for me that's been almost 30 years, then hopefully together we can work through this and we can come up with ideas that help each other and find ways to live the lives that we really want in freedom while we give back to this world. Thanks, y'all. Take care. Talk to you again soon.